The whole hip-hop world is in shock right now because Wack 100 has just completely destroyed Young Thug for allegedly snitching to get himself released.
Now Gunna, I'll call him a rat. Thug, I'll tell you what he did in the interrogation room is against the rules. He shouldn't have did it. He said too much, did too much. There's no explanation for that. He's dead wrong.
And what makes the situation even more controversial is the fact that the streets are furious with Thug, because not too long ago, he dissed Gunna for doing the exact same thing when Gunna tried to protect himself. And now Wack 100 has introduced something wild he calls the streets' New Testament.
Today, we coming up with the New Testament. What we feel the new rules of the street should be. And I expect all of y'all to make this go viral, right? Because, we going to go from 1 to 10 with a bonus 1. That last one, a lot of y'all probably ain't going to like. But some of y'all old school dudes ain't going to like. Let's start with number 1. New Testament rules of the street, number 1. You can snitch on somebody who snitched on you first. Hey, that's the first new rule.
Now, let's break this entire thing down because what's going on here is bigger than just Young Thug or Gunna. It's about the definition of loyalty, street code, survival, and the very foundation of the culture that hip-hop has been built on. Please do not forget to like this video, share, and subscribe to this channel if you want more updates like this. Thank you. Now, let's get back into the video. Young Thug's name has been legendary in the game for years. From his groundbreaking sound, his daring style, and his dominance in trap music, he became one of the most important figures in Atlanta hip-hop. He stood on authenticity. He stood on street credibility. And he stood as the frontman of YSL, a movement that was supposed to represent brotherhood, family, and loyalty. But when the massive YSL RICO case hit, it shook the entire culture because suddenly, the same brotherhood that Thug built seemed to be crumbling from inside. One by one, YSL members began accepting plea deals, and the internet started accusing them of snitching. The most talk about was Gunna, who despite publicly denying snitching, was labeled as such by the streets after that infamous courtroom clip where he confirmed YSL was a gang. And through it all, Young Thug was painted as the one who remained solid, the one who stood firm behind bars, refusing to fold, the one who kept his mouth shut. The streets respected him for that. They said Thug was cut from a different cloth. But now everything has taken a shocking turn. Word started spreading that Young Thug himself may have cooperated in a way to secure his release. The whispers grew into full-blown rumors, and when Wack 100 stepped in, he didn't just address it lightly. He went all in. Wack called Thug out, saying that if these rumors are true, Thug just destroyed his own legacy. Wack didn't mince words. He said straight up that the streets will never forgive hypocrisy. How can you diss Gunna, distance yourself from him, allow the world to clown him for allegedly snitching, and then turn around and do the same thing? That's where the streets draw the line. Wack 100 made it clear that if this is what Thug has done, then the culture has to wake up and redefine what loyalty even means. And that's where Wack unveiled what he called the streets' New Testament. It's his raw manifesto aimed at the rats, at the ones who fold under pressure, and at the ones who try to twist a narrative to save themselves while still pretending they're solid. According to Wack, the old rules of the streets are gone because too many have bent them, too many have manipulated them, and too many so-called real ones have been exposed as frauds. In this New Testament, Wack says the number 1 commandment is simple. If you snitch, own it. Don't hide. Don't pretend. Don't call yourself solid. Don't throw shade at the next man who did the same thing. Own your truth. The second commandment, don't build your brand off of street codes if you're not ready to live and die by them. Don't sell loyalty. Don't sell brotherhood. Don't sell an image of being untouchable only to crumble when the system applies pressure. And the third commandment, if you cross that line, understand that you're no longer part of the street culture. You can make music, you can make money, but you can't expect the streets to embrace you again. Wack 100 broke it down in a way that was both brutal and eye-opening. And whether you love him or hate him, He's sparking the realest conversation that hip-hop has been avoiding for years. Because let's be honest, the streets are tired of the double standards. They're tired of artists painting themselves as the epitome of loyalty, only for the paperwork to show something different. They're tired of fans offending their favorite artists no matter what, as if the truth doesn't matter anymore. And right now, Young Thug finds himself at the center of this storm. People are angry because Thug wasn't just a regular rapper. He was a leader, someone that the younger generation looked up to. He was the one dissing Gunna in coded bars, the one whose team distanced themselves from Gunna, the one that everyone believed would never break. And now, if he did exactly what he accused others of, then his empire falls apart not because of the feds, but because of his own actions. Wack 100's destruction of Thug isn't just about one man's alleged snitching. It's about holding the culture accountable. It's about saying enough is enough. If we're going to draw lines, then those lines have to be consistent, and you can feel the shift in the air. Social media is erupting with debates. Some fans are in disbelief, refusing to believe Thug could ever snitch. Others are already writing him off, saying Wack 100 is right and that Thug is finished. And then you have the OGs and street figures weighing in, many of whom are siding with Wack. Because to them, the code is sacred. Once you break it, you can never patch it back up. The trust is gone. The respect is gone. But here's the twist. Wack isn't just clowning Thug. He's using Thug's alleged actions as a mirror to expose the entire game. He's asking the questions nobody wants to ask. How many of your favorite rappers would really stay solid under RICO? How many would sit in a cell for years instead of taking the easy way out? How many are only solid until the system squeezes them? Wack is calling out the fake, and he's daring the industry to stop hiding behind illusions. And the fact that this is happening while Thug's trial is still ongoing makes it even more explosive. Now let's go deeper into why the streets are truly pissed. It's not just the alleged snitching. It's the betrayal of the image. In hip-hop, image is everything. Fans buy into authenticity. They want to believe that when Thug rapped about loyalty, he meant it. That when he called out Gunna, it was because he lived by a higher standard. That when he stood tall behind bars, he was proving he was cut from a cloth that others couldn't match. But if all of that was smoke and mirrors, then it means fans have been sold a lie. And people don't forgive being lied to. This is where Wack 100 Street's New Testament hits hardest. Because what he's saying is that the culture has been too forgiving for too long. Too many have been allowed to bend the rules while pretending to be real. Too many have been allowed to clown others for snitching, only to do the same thing when it benefits them. And if the streets don't enforce consistency, then the code is meaningless. That's why he's rewriting the commandments. And let's not ignore the hypocrisy of the industry. Rappers and fans alike picked sides when it came to Gunna. They clowned him, called him names, distanced themselves from his music. But when the possibility of Thug doing the same thing comes up, suddenly people want to make excuses. That's exactly the double standard that Wack is tearing apart. And honestly, that's why his words sting. Because deep down, everyone knows he's right. The code doesn't bend for favorites.